Welcome to another episode in our series called Israel on Location. Today I'm standing on the top of the cliff of Arbel, overlooking the Sea of Galilee. We are here on location on the cliff of Arbel, and you can see behind me part of the Lower Galilee. It technically starts with the ridge of Nazareth, which is north of the Jezreel Valley. But as we turn in this direction behind me is the beginning of the Upper Galilee, I should say, and it begins with Mount Merom. On the other side of Mount Merom is the Lebanese border. But now behind me, right there it is, the Sea of Galilee. So when we talk about being on location, we have to mention this guy named Jesus because he spent a lot of time here. His home base was Capernaum. If you look at the bend of the lake, that cove beyond the bend is where Capernaum is located. We could read Mark 1, Mark 2, Mark 9, Luke 7, John 6, maybe even Luke 8 that happened there. And Jesus was teaching, he was healing, he was displaying his authority. But this was the context for his ministry here around this freshwater lake. So on location here in Arbel, or on Arbel, I should say, we have all these references to the ministry of Jesus. Now the question is Arbel mentioned in the Bible? Well, the answer is no, not directly, but could it be? Number one, maybe the lower slopes is where Jesus taught the Sermon on the Mount. Why not? This was a high traffic area with the Valley of the Doves, people coming in and out of that from Nazareth and the Lower Galilee to Magdala just down below us. In fact, there's a Magdala there. It's about right there. And that seems to reason that Jesus taught to the thousands, really, maybe on the lower slopes. Maybe it was the top of Arbel where Jesus came to distance himself from the crowds. Once in a while he had to do that to sort of recharge his batteries, if you will, and to spend time with his disciples. Could it also be the place where Jesus was transfigured? Now, some suggest Mount Hermon, which is actually 30 miles north of the northern part of the lake. Some suggest the Catholic tradition is Mount Tabor. In fact, let me just turn around briefly, and that dome-shaped, let's see, can we see it? I don't know if you can tell, but there's a dome-shaped mountain there. It's off in the Jezreel Valley. The Catholics think that's the Transfiguration. I have a friend who believes Nimrod, perhaps, was the location, which is off the slopes of the Golan Heights, which is over to the east of the lake. But why not Arbel? You know, it's a good possibility. Matthew 17 is where that is found. But Matthew 28, Jesus says, "Go and to the Galilee and meet me on a mountain." Maybe Arbel was that mountain where Jesus then would say and teach and inspire his disciples by saying, "Go and make disciples of all nations, teaching them and baptizing them." Maybe this was where the first disciples were inspired. Maybe on that peak behind me, the cliff of Arbel, maybe this is where these words from Matthew 28 were heard for the very first time. So it's a really neat place, the Arbel. So here on location in Israel, we can consider the life and ministry of Jesus. Hope you're doing well and hope you're inspired by the view that we can gain from this location. Until next time, Shalom.